Right then, it's time for my next talking point now. And on this show, this is a Danson show. We talk about almost everything and anything if you are regular listeners to my show. I'm joined by consultant surgeon specialising in weight loss. We've got Dr. Ahmed R Ahmed. It's great to have you with me today. We're talking about the pandemic of snackers. How interesting.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. We've got some research as well, which we're going to look into. Has found one of our favourite activities in the past 18 months is snacking, and how snacking has had an effect on people during all the lockdowns as well, and comfort eating as well. The floor is yours if you could tell me listener more about this.
Yes, of course. So, what I think it comes as no surprise, certainly using my own example and that of my family, my friends, my colleagues, during the last year, everybody seems to have put on weight. And actually, it's not that surprising because we've all been stuck at home. The kind of things we used to do, such as going out, enjoying ourselves, doing activities outdoors in the parks, going to the gym, that all came to a halt. And then at the same time, when you spend more time at home, you have, more kind of access to your kitchen, your refrigerator, and snacking. And of course, we're all eating more and probably also drinking more as well. And of course, that's not, the only last thing I was going to say is that, and being in this sort of lockdown and in this sort of trapped environment also leads to depression. And we know that depression itself is connected with weight gain.
That's understandable. So we've got the snacking, which leads to more eating, and then it's a domino effect of depression as well. And do people actually know what they're putting in their bodies? If they open that pack of biscuits, or do you know that massive tube of crisps? The ones where you can't stop. What it's actually doing to our body when we just putting it away?
Yes, so it's basically creating havoc with your body because every time you're snacking on these high carbohydrate foods, what's happening is you're getting little peaks and surges in your insulin hormone. And this is a hormone that's obviously your body needs. And every time you eat a regular meal, the levels of insulin go up a little bit, and the sugar that you eat and the carbohydrate you eat gets stored as fat. And that's fine. That's part of normal human biology. What's happening is when you're having these snacks, you're getting surges, really high surges, because most of these snacks are pure carbohydrates. So that causes a peak in insulin. And every time that insulin peaks, all that sugar and that carbohydrate is going straight into being deposited as fat and unhealthy fat. So that's why it's really unhealthy.
And I'm just looking more into the statistics now. 44%, which I guess nearly is half, admitted to snacking between meals more.
Yes, that's a staggering statistic, but I'm actually not surprised because I'm also one of those 44%, guilty as charged.
So you got your 3 meals a day as well. When people kind of push a boat out and have a dessert. Do you kind of include that in the snacking bracket, or is that more or less the norm to have 3 meals a day and then maybe a pudding to treat yourself?
I mean, I would say that's probably quite normal. So I think snacking is what we do in between all those events. Yeah.
And now restrictions are lifting. What sound advice would you like to give my listeners to keep in shape and eat healthy?
Well, exactly. I think it is all about, especially, with Freedom Day around the corner, I think it's about going out, enjoying the sunny weather while it lasts, and just engaging in activities. And also, of course, trying to eat healthier. And that's obviously more easily said than done. But I mean, those are the real ways of trying to fight this sort of constant growth in our waistline. But also, my interest is how to tackle the problem when it's already occurred. So I'm interested in how to help people who have put on weight and what we can do now to help them get back to how they used to be.
And there's so many ways you can keep fit, not necessarily the gym, long walks and running, swimming as well. So just trying to take advantage of the amenities we have open in our local area.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? One of the best forms of exercise that I think works really well is, what they refer to as the high intensity interval training. So that basically means you do something very, very quickly or very aggressively for just a minute, and then you have a little break, and then you do it again, and then you have a break. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to a gym. You can even do it, in your local park, or even on the street, or even in your own house. If you walk very quickly on the street, or if you have stairs in your building, you can go up and down the stairs very, very quickly. Just get your heart pumping, get a bit of a sweat going, but only for a minute, and then have a break. That kind of activity is really good to get your metabolism working better, and to help with weight loss.
Some pivotal advice there, and I'm just going to put the spotlight on takeaway. So businesses have took an impact in the coronavirus 2020, but takeaways, I guess, are a success story during 2020. More people can't get to the takeaway, so just ordering, like these well-known delivery apps. So could that be a problem as well? Takeaways.
I agree entirely, and I think that's one of the things we mentioned before. Snacking within your own home by accessing your fridge. But of course, the other main problem, as you've correctly just mentioned, is we're all calling up our local delivery service, and we're getting meals, usually unhealthy meals, delivered to our homes, and that also has added to the burden of excess weight that we've seen.
And can you tell me briefly more about the Allurian program as well?
Yes, of course. So when we're dealing with people who put on weight, we have to think about how best to address this. And clearly there'll be some people who are in the obese or morbid obese category, and of course for those people, treatment with weight loss surgery was going to be the most effective. But for the majority of people who put on weight during lockdown, they haven't reached those really high levels of weight gain. It's about helping them with achieving modest weight loss. Now, of course, we can all go on to diets and exercise, and I recommend everybody tries that first. But for a lot of us, in fact, I would say for the majority, what happens is every time you do a diet, your own internal biology changes. So, the first thing that happens is your hormones that make you feel hungry, their levels go up, your metabolism slows down, and other changes take place, which mean that it's really hard for most of us to stick to a diet. And you'll know from talking to people, every time you start a diet, you're constantly hungry, you're craving food, all you think about is eating, and ultimately the diet fails initially from day one, because your biology changes. So we have to find, ways of being able to do a diet without failing. And this is where the Allurian balloon system comes in. So this is a holistic program which includes a stomach balloon, but also includes support from a team of clinicians helping to re-educate around healthy eating, portion sizes, and good eating habits. And essentially what this does is it's a balloon that goes into your stomach. It takes up space, it stretches the wall of the stomach, and it actually takes away the feeling of hunger when you're dieting. So that constant feeling when you're dieting, oh, I'm hungry, all you think about food, that disappears with the balloon. So that's why it's so successful in helping people diet for 4 months, because the balloon stays in your system for 4 months and then it disappears very naturally through a bowel movement.
Thank you for filling us in on the Allurian program. And where can people find out more information about this?
Sure. So you can look at our website. It's the londonweightclinic.com. The shorthand would be www.tlwc.me. Just to mention, balloons actually are not new. So balloons have been around for about 20, 30 years, but the Allurian balloon system, which has been around for about 2 or 3 years, is really innovative and revolutionary because it doesn't require a procedure. The balloon is swallowed as a pill in the outpatient, takes about 15 minutes, then you go home, and then at 4 months, the balloon dissolves and comes out in a bowel movement. So it actually doesn't require a procedure.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Consultant surgeon specialising in weight loss, Dr. Ahmed R Ahmed, talking about pandemic of snackers and what it does to our body, and just kind of find out more about the insides of what going on inside of us. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Danny, and have a lovely day.
Thank you so much.